The story begins with a boy surrounded by a group of bullies who mercilessly mock and humiliate him, their laughter echoing off the walls as they enjoy humiliating him. He tries to stay on his feet, but each shove weakens him until he finally collapses on the ground, struggling to breathe. And just when it seems no one will help, a mysterious figure appears, gently hands him a box of juice, and disappears before he can even say thank you, as if he was never there. A year later, the story moves to a high school where everything seems calmer on the surface, and we meet Nao, a quiet girl who is almost invisible to others, walking through the hallways with her head down as if she wants to remain unnoticed in a world that has never been kind to her. One day, while watching from a distance, a fight breaks out in the school courtyard filled with shouting, pushing, and tense stares. And in the middle of the chaos is Taiga, a red-haired boy whose intimidating presence freezes anyone who looks at him. But in the confusion, he slips and falls directly onto Nao, their faces dangerously close as their breaths meet for a moment that feels endless, leaving Nao completely disturbed and stuck on that unexpected contact. Inside the classroom, her classmates begin whispering and mocking her with cruel comments as if she isn't even there. And while Nao stands silently unsure how to react, another girl named Kaio steps in and firmly defends her, making it clear she won't tolerate such behavior. But the atmosphere shifts completely when Taiga enters the room, instantly silencing everyone as if his presence alone commands fear and respect. And he looks straight at Nao and orders her to meet him behind the school. Once he leaves, whispers fill the room again as everyone talks about Taiga, the bad boy no one dares to challenge. And when the time comes, Nao nervously goes to the meeting place only to find him holding a bouquet of flowers and bluntly telling her he wants to marry her, something she doesn't want to accept because she dislikes the idea of being involved with a delinquent. Yet fear freezes her and she ends up agreeing. That afternoon, she visits her Uncle Sue's cafe, the man who has taken care of her since her parents died. And amid the smell of coffee and the sound of cups, it becomes clear how many sacrifices he has made for her. And although she doesn't feel romantic love for him, she has deep affection and dependence on him. The next day, while thinking about how to get rid of Taiga, she is shocked to find him waiting outside her house. His presence is overwhelming as it is unpredictable, and at school, everyone is stunned to see the shy girl with the feared bad boy as they sit together in the courtyard and now eats the lunch Taiga made for her, while he nervously confesses his dream of becoming a chef, making her smile at the thought that he has a dream even though she is still confused about why he is so drawn to her. Taiga then honestly admits he has always liked her, and that she is the only one who matters to him, his words echoing in her mind as they walk together. But the teasing starts again, and Kaio once more defends her, not because they are friends, but because she hates seeing people judged without knowing the truth. When Nao returns home, she sees her uncle talking to an unknown woman and feels a slight sting of jealousy, but later realizes through old photographs that the woman was his former co-worker, making her understand how much he gave up just to open the cafe and stay close to her. Soon, a school camp is announced, and groups of 4 are formed, placing Nao and Taiga with Kaio and a boy named Misak, who turns out to be the same boy Taiga fought earlier. At the camp, Misak, an anime fan, is reading manga when some boys start bothering him and throw his amulet into the water, prompting him to jump in to retrieve it despite not knowing how to swim. So Taiga jumps in to save him. And although Misak insists he doesn't need friends, Taiga refuses to give up and decides he will still become his friend. On the way back, Taiga realizes he forgot his jacket and now offers to get it, but she gets lost and enters a dark tunnel that triggers painful childhood memories of losing her parents, causing panic to overwhelm her as she cries out for So. And when Taiga realizes she isn't there, he goes searching for her, rescues her, and tries to calm her down. And although Nao apologizes for being so scared, Taiga tells her that he should be the one apologizing instead, because he tried to get close to Nao even though he knew her heart belonged to someone else. Then Nao tells him that when she was little, her parents died and she is in love with her uncle. And even though Taiga is hurt, he doesn't want to lose her, so he suggests that they become friends. The next day, Taiga tells Misak that Nao rejected him, and now they are just friends. But Taiga himself isn't fully convinced about this, because the thought of being just friends makes him restless. On the other side, Nao tells Kaio that she and Taiga are just friends, but Kaio says that she should at least think about how it would feel if they kissed, and this makes Nao a bit thoughtful. That night, Taiga's heart is pounding as he messages Nao asking if they can study together, and Nao agrees. When she reaches school, Nao is surprised to see Kaio arriving on a bike with a clearly rebellious-looking boy, and she isn't the only one shocked. Misak is also left shocked after seeing this. While Nao and Taiga are studying together, after some time, Nao falls asleep, and taking advantage of the moment, Taiga moves closer and gently kisses her. As soon as Nao wakes up, she is immediately shocked, and feeling regret, Taiga apologizes and runs away with a heart full of emotion. After some time, Taiga meets a new transfer student, Mia, who is a shy girl like Nao and also has difficulty socializing. everything. Her classmates start making fun of her, but Taiga goes to her and keeps her company. They have lunch together, and from a distance now watches everything and feels a slight sting of jealousy that she doesn't know how to handle. Later, she sees Taiga running after Mia in the hallways, where he is encouraging her not to let others' words affect her. Meanwhile, Nao learns more about Taiga's past, his problems with his mother, and the pain that pushed him into fights and impulsive behavior, and slowly Nao begins to understand that behind the appearance of a dangerous boy is a deeply hurt person. And just when it seems like all the pieces are finally fitting together, the story quietly takes a new turn, because Taiga's words don't disappear into the air, but resonate within Mia, who for the first time is able to smile without fear and open herself up to friendship. But while all this is happening, Nao watches from a distance with a knot in her chest, because the pain of jealousy isn't loud, but silent and impossible to ignore. And she isn't the only one who notices it. Misak has seen everything too and carefully approaches her, and between doubts and sighs, Nao tells him what's been weighing on her heart, that seeing Taiga so close to Mia makes her feel uncomfortable. Misak listens to her and then reveals a truth that changes everything, because the fight at the beginning of the story wasn't due to meaningless violence, but Taiga was actually protecting Misak. At that moment, something inside Nao breaks, and she realizes how much Taiga has done for her, and how much affection he has always had in his heart. Even when Nao herself couldn't see it clearly, she thanks Misak, and without thinking further, runs away with a racing heart. She finds Taiga in the classroom with Mia, and without hesitation admits that she likes him, and is jealous of Mia. But Mia calmly makes it clear that for her, Taiga is just a friend. Relieved, Nao finally says the words she had been hiding inside for so long, that she really likes Taiga and wants to be with him. Surprised and emotional, Taiga hugs her tightly, as if he is afraid of losing her again. Time passes, and we see them sharing small moments that feel very big. Laughter, comfortable silences, and glances that say more than any promise. But the real test is still yet to come. Taiga asks Nao to arrange a meeting with her Uncle Su because he wants to speak with him alone, face to face. With his heart trembling, Taiga asks Sao for permission to date Nao and says he will take care of her even if it costs him his life. But Sao looks at him seriously, worried by such reckless words, because he doesn't want his niece depending on someone willing to sacrifice himself without thinking about tomorrow. And because of that, Su ultimately refuses to give his approval. Taiga leaves completely broken, and when Nao finds out, she desperately runs after him while Su remains alone, remembering all the sacrifices he made to raise her, how he didn't know how to cook or how to take care of a little girl, but still did it anyway. And that night, his silence feels cold, filled with frustration and love. Nao cannot sleep and sees her uncle talking to his former coworker, who offers him a new project that could allow him to return to his dreams. And suddenly she understands everything, that the cafe was never really his dream, but a sacrifice he made for her. And the weight of that truth is overwhelming. While in Su's mind, there is only one thought, that his happiness comes from seeing Nao smile. The next day, while walking together, Taiga tells Nao that he will speak to Su again and try to fix things. But at that moment, they come across Kaio's boyfriend kissing another girl, and Taiga recognizes him as the same boy from the fight at the beginning, and remembering how he once defended Misak from his friends. The tension almost explodes, but everything remains unresolved, while a hurt Kaio, trapped in a blind love that has pushed her away from everyone, argues with her friends and leaves, knowing deep down that her boyfriend is cheating on her but still unable to let him go. Shortly afterward, Nao receives a desperate message from Kaio containing an address and a single plea: "Save me." So Nao immediately goes there without realizing it is a trap. Taiga then receives a message from the same bad boy mocking him from his workshop, and he runs like crazy with his mind full of memories of Nao, ready to give everything to protect her. Before arriving, he meets Misak and explains what is happening. So Misak goes to warn So while Taiga continues forward. Inside the workshop, the bad boy releases all his anger by brutally beating Taiga, but Taiga doesn't fight back and only keeps asking him to let Nao go. Just when everything seems lost, Misak and Su appear and throw hot sauce at the attacker, who surprisingly panics and runs away. Nao manages to escape while Misak enters the house to look for Kaio, who seems to have been kidnapped. When everything finally calms down, Nao thanks Su for everything he has done for her and tells him that now it is his turn to chase his dreams because she has someone who will protect her. Taiga promises to take care of her and welcome every new day with her. But then he admits something that changes everything, because the boy from the fight in the rain at the beginning was actually him, while the person who gave him the juice and umbrella was Nao. And that small, simple human gesture was what touched his heart from the very beginning. That night, Taiga returns home and apologizes to his mother for being so rebellious, realizing that he acted that way because he felt alone, but now he finally has something worth fighting for. The next day, the bully tried to bother Kaio again, but this time, Misak stepped in without fear and protected her. Furious that he had no other option, the bully finally walked away. When Kaio asked Misak why he had saved her, he replied that, just like her, he wanted to protect others too. With time, Nao once again rides a bicycle to school with Su, just like when she was a child, and he tells her not to think that she ruined his dreams, because seeing her smile was always worth it. And then he lets her continue on her own path while remembering the past with nostalgia. As Nao moves toward her future with Taiga, the two reach the beach. There, Taiga once again confesses his love to Nao with a bouquet of flowers and asks her to marry him. Overwhelmed with emotion, Nao accepts through tears, a warm smile spreading across her face. And with that smile, their story finally finds the peace they both deserved. So friends, this beautiful story ends here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.